This is our semester group project for group 1, number 3.
So our solution for the problem is we explained how it's not bad if a child is different. Everyone is different in one way or another. This is just who we are. We explained examples of our differences and we shared as a class during circle time. We decided to handle the issue in this manner because it explains to the class that just because someone looks different does not set them apart, since we are all different. This would make the child that was originally being talked about feel better and included, as we explained that everyone is different in some way because they wouldn't feel alone in their differences.
Some other resources that we found was first we talked about the Sound and Fury video we watched during week 8, which talked about the deaf people with a cochlear implant. We talked about how some of the deaf families did not see themselves as having a disability, but they saw that they were just different than those people that could hear, and that was okay, and that they wouldn't want to change, and they wouldn't want to get that cochlear implant. We also found that in John 13:34 it says, "A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye have also loved one another." And also addressing diversity in schools, culturally responsive pedagogy. It says, "Moreover, a culturally responsive instructional environment minimizes the students' alienation as they attempt to adjust to the different world of school." So those all kind of gave us some examples of some alternative ideas of how the little girl with cerebral palsy would view herself, as well as how the class views themselves with differences.
So for alternatives to ways that we could have addressed this issue, first we thought as a teacher we could have not pointed out everyone's differences, but instead just said that this is that student with cerebral palsy, that's her normal, just like our normal is having legs that work, and that's okay. This could have gone well because the students could have seen the disabled student as someone who really isn't that different, or it could have gone poorly because they could have seen her as more different, and that would have kind of backfired. Another alternative is that as a teacher, we could have pointed out that regardless of our outward appearances, everyone is united in the knowledge that they are all children of this class. They should know from their teacher that us as a teacher, we love them each equally. This knowledge would build a feeling of unity in the classroom, and this is a positive experience because promoting unity can build up the classroom community and create a safe learning environment. However, one con of this is that some students could be resistant to this community because they may not have that unity in their home lives and may not understand how that would work in a classroom. And one last alternative that we thought of is, as a teacher, we could have made the students aware of different cultures and backgrounds before this issue came up in the first place. That way, when everyone's differences were brought up, the topic would have already been discussed previously, and students would have a better understanding without needing a whole discussion of the topic this time. Preparing this discussion ahead of time instead of after the problem occurred would save time, because you would just need a short reminder instead of a full lesson about differences. But it also may need to be repeated throughout the school year so that students could fully understand.
Some important factors. We decided to choose the response to the problem that we initially created because it incorporated the most inclusive way to include all the differences. Sharing about what makes everyone unique includes everyone into the conversation instead of just pointing out that one girl, and she could have gotten pretty embarrassed about that. Um, every one of us has something unique and different about us, and that was something we tried to point out. This prevents a divide between unique students and normal students, and that sometimes can occur. It also wouldn't be a discussion that took much time out of the day's lesson. It could be quickly and repeated throughout the year as necessary when problems arose, so we could get in, get the discussion over with, and move on, and not really diverge from what we were originally talking about.
So for our group for this project, it was hard to find a time that we could all meet. we're all at different times in our lives and doing different things with our days. And some of us were off track, some were on track, some were living in Rexburg, and some in other time zones. So because of this, it was hard for us to be able to all meet up, and many times we would have to work without team members, or other team members wouldn't respond. All in all, this had an impact on the production of our presentations and also on group member contribution.
Yeah, and with that, that is our presentation for this week.